Hi, welcome to the RVCC Tutoring Center. Today we'll be reviewing Chapter 2 for Elementary Algebra. So our first problem can be found on page 166. It's going to be problem 3, and it wants us to solve the equation and check the solution. So the equation we're given is 4x minus 2 minus x is equal to negative 3 in parentheses 2x plus 6. So first we're going to want to distribute our negative to the 2 minus x and the negative 3 to the 2x plus 6. This gives us 4x minus 2 plus x is equal to negative 6x minus 18. Next, we're going to want to get all our x's on one side and all our whole numbers on the other side. So we're going to add 6x to both sides, and we're going to add 2 to both sides. This gives us 4x plus 6x is equal to negative 18 plus 2. Now we're just going to add everything together. So we're going to get 11x is equal to negative 16. And we can divide both sides by 11 to get x is equal to negative 16 over 11. So now we need to check our solution. So to start, we're going to want to plug in our solution back into our original equation. Then we're going to want to simplify, and then simplify further, so we get our final answer of negative 102 over 11 is equal to negative 102 over 11. And so now we know that our answer is correct. Our next two problems can also be found on page 166. It's going to be problems 5 and 6, and for both, we're going to want to determine the number of solutions. So the first equation we're given is 6 times, in parentheses, 2x minus 1 is equal to negative 4 times, in parentheses, 3 minus 3x. So first, to start, we're going to want to simplify this equation by distributing. So we get 12x minus 6, and then negative is equal to negative 12 plus 12x. So in this case, there are going to be no solutions. This is because they have the same slope, however, they have a different intercept. So in this case, they're running parallel to each other, but they're not on top of each other, and they will never intersect at any point. Our next problem is number 6, and it gives us the equations 4 times, in parentheses, 2x minus 1 is equal to 8x minus 4. So again, we're going to want to distribute, so we get 8x minus 4 is equal to 8x minus 4. In this case, we have infinite solutions. This is because they have the same slope, and they also have the same intercept, so they overlap. There is never a point that they will not touch, because they're the exact same equation. So our next problem is problem number 10, also on page 166. In this problem, we're going to translate the sentence into an equation and solve. So the sentence we're given is the sum of 3 consecutive natural numbers is 336. Find the 3 numbers. So we can start by representing each of these 3 numbers with a variable, x, y, and z. So when we add these numbers together, it's going to equal 336. Since these are natural numbers, we know that the first digit has to be a 1, because when we add those ones together, we get 300. That's the only way for us to have 3 consecutive numbers and have it equal to 300. We also know that the second digit also has to be a 1 in order for us to get 330. So for the final digit, in order for us to figure out this problem, we need to determine what numbers we can add together that would be considered consecutive to get us 6. There's only one combination of numbers that will actually get us 6 in this case, which will be 1, 2, and 3. So our final answer is 111, 112, and 113. So our next problem can be found on page 167. It's going to be problem number 15, and we're going to want to find the circumference and area of a circle. In this problem, we're given that the diameter of the circle is 30 inches, and we also want to keep in mind that pi is equal to 3.14. So to find the circumference, the formula is 2 pi times r. R is equivalent to radius. We know that the radius is half the diameter, so we can substitute d over 2 for the radius, and then we can plug in our diameter into our equation, 2 pi times diameter divided by 2, which gives us 92.4 inches. For the area, our formula is pi times r squared. Again, r is just equivalent to d over 2. So our next formula that we're going to use is pi times d over 2 squared. And then we're going to substitute 30 for d, because that's our diameter. And we get 706.5 inches squared as our final answer. So our final problem will be an application problem found on page 167. It's problem number 26 and involves mixing solutions. Our problem reads, a solution is 45% hydrochloric acid. How much water should be added to 1,000 milliliters of the solution to dilute it to 15% solution? So for this problem, we're looking at a systems of equations problem. So first we need to identify our variables. So we're going to use X to represent the volume of water that will be added to our 1,000 milliliter solution. And we're going to let Y represent the volume of water of the diluted solution in total. So the two equations that we're going to use to solve this problem will be 1,000, which is our original solution volume, plus X is equal to Y. That's our first equation. So that's just going to tell us how much we need to add to get to our total diluted solution. The next problem tells us that 0.55 times 1,000 plus X is equal to 0.85 Y. So this is just telling us in the original solution that 55% of those 1,000 milliliters is water. We're going to add a certain amount of water to that, and that will be equivalent to the 0.85% in our final solution. So to solve this, we're going to solve by substitution. So we're going to substitute 1,000 plus X for our Y. And then after solving, we get X is equal to 2,000 and Y is equal to 3,000. So our answer would be to add 2,000 milliliters to dilute the solution. And that is our chapter 2 review.